love it. The calls.
You'll eventually get the 20% back. That Silver Connect card is going to pay her co-payments. Medicaid, I believe, is an injectable, and her hospitalization co-payments. And tell them to turn his Part B on. All right. Turn it down a little bit here. Good afternoon. It is June 27th, 1:06 p.m. This is Michael Regan, and the show is called Medicare and You. Thank you so much for listening. It's funny. I've been going to places and hearing people say, like, wow, I listened to the show. And I'm like, nobody listens to this show, please. So anyway, to the lovely ladies yesterday that ran into me, thanks for listening to the show, and I hope I could help. There was a situation where a woman whose mother had just Medicare only, Medicare A and Medicare B, no supplement, no Advantage plan, no nothing. Called my buddy Dick at the Agency on Aging. We got right on it, and hopefully the woman is very, very low income. And the woman's daughter was brilliant. She's in the medical field, and she didn't even know these programs are available. So I'm going to take the Mattatuck Minute. Then I'm going to go over some due diligence. I'm finding that people are spending more time planning their vacation than they're actually getting their house in order. So we're going to do a little due diligence. I'm going to talk about Chris Murphy, who's been campaigning his butt off. The guy's serving coffee at Leo's coffee shop. It was in the paper the other day. A gentleman gave him a nice article in the letter to the editor. He is a good candidate. I'm not a party player. I don't go Republican, don't go Democrat. I vote for people, and I see him really working hard. I think Linda McMahon is extremely intelligent. It's going to be a dogfight. All right, so we're going to take the Mattatuck Minute on line one, and then I'll talk about other stuff later. Stephanie, how are you, my friend?
Good, Mike. How are you doing?
Good. Up to the corporate campaign, we're just doing great. Nancy and Joel Becker are such a pleasure to deal with. For the people that have donated, thank you very much from the bottom of my heart. It's nice to see that you do care about the museum as much as Stephanie, Eloise, Bob, myself, Kathy, and Cynthia, and the rest of the crew, of course, Marie, do. How is everyone at the Mattatuck Museum?
Great, absolutely. Moving forward, and we thank you and your wife and Joel and Nancy for all your help on that corporate campaign. It's going really well, and we're very pleased.
We are pleased. It's definitely going well. And Carmen Anthony told me a good thing. I had a function at his place. He said, in this economy, you can't get greedy. You can't ask for a large check. It's better to get 100 or 250 from 1,000 people than 5,000 from one person. So if you're out there and you're listening and you own a company, please consider giving in the annual campaign giving to the Mattatuck Museum. It goes to fund the programs for the children, goes to basically take care of some of the overhead at the museum, correct?
Yeah, we funnel it towards the exhibitions and the programs, and like you said, the children's art classes, those kind of things. That's what I'm interested in is in a city like Waterbury with the phenomenal mosaic, like it was right here in the paper, the work of art raised. Congratulations to everyone. A friend of mine, Lynette, is on the board with me, and she has been working her butt off. I could not go. My wife and I had a very important doctor's appointment yesterday, but I heard it was a great success. So it was fabulous. Eloise and I went. There were some really heartfelt speeches, and the mosaic is beautiful. So
nice. Way to support the community, Stephanie. Yeah. All right, so what do we have up for First Thursday?
Well, we are taking a break from First Thursday in July because of the holiday.
Sure.
But coming back in August strong with First and Third Thursdays through the end of the year.
It's become that popular that it's going to be now First and Third?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Third Thursdays is like the danceable music like we talked about.
Right.
First Thursdays is all that good jazz stuff.
Nice.
So August 2nd is our next First Thursday, and it's going to be the Billy Cofrancis Jazz Quartet. Local guys, they've played here before. I think a few of them are out of New Haven, so it should be a good time. And tomorrow we've got the reception for the community gallery exhibit that's opening in the shadow of St. Anne's, and the Maris Affair sculpture installation
on the rooftop.
Okay, so that's tomorrow.
Yes.
Okay, so you listeners out there, I was lucky enough to be on the mezzanine, and I think you refer to it as the mezz floor, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, the statues are great. She's got them mounted on pieces of granite, slabs, some painted concrete. What are you guys moving furniture in the background over there?
Oh no, sorry. Our interns are hard at work getting some of the stuff out to the corporate sponsors, actually.
Yeah, you can hear them. Slow down a little bit. You're making a lot of noise. This is fun. It's really caught on, too. People come up to me, oh, I know, I went to the museum. A teacher of mine and friend of my wife's joined the museum from Southbury because her friend is very involved. She was at the function for Bob. And by the way, a little plug to Stephanie. Great job with the social moments. They printed it in last Sunday's paper. Waterbury Republican did a great job. And it was the meet and greet for Robert Burns, goes by Bob. But
yep.
I really think you did a fantastic job with the way you laid out the photos and spelt my wife's name right. So thank you very much. That was nice of you.
No, not a problem. We appreciate everyone that came and supported him and listened to what he had to say.
Yes, we are getting the movement going. So you will be getting called from me or Joel or Nancy or Diana. My wife's a little shyer than me, so it'll probably be me. But think about your planned giving for the Mattatuck Museum. We're going to do the corporate campaign. It's going to run through the end of September. And tomorrow night will be a reception for the community gallery.
Yep, and sculpture installation.
Sweet. Yeah. Mara is actually an artist, and she is the wife of a board member, Dave Fair, correct?
Yep, he works over at Carmody and Torrance.
Yes. Pretty hip guy, actually.
Yeah, we have several new board members, and it's really exciting to talk to them. They're very interested and enthusiastic about the museum, which is fantastic.
It's nice. We have a lot of new blood, a lot of life in the board meetings. Things are going great. I'm really looking forward to that Preppy campaign. That's right up my alley.
Absolutely.
We grew up with our collars up, actually, in my day. We did. I didn't necessarily go with the Madras plaid pants. That was a little too on the skew, but I did go with the preppy look.
Oh, good. Well, you'll have to sport it again.
I definitely won't. I won't. I go with more of a city slick suit and tie look. You got to look professional. You never catch Jim Smith without a tie.
Absolutely.
At one of his dad's breakfast, it was so funny. His sister gives a speech, and she's like, I remember Dad coming home in a blue suit, going and changing into another blue suit. I mean, hey, we're uptight. That's how we look professional, and obviously it's important to support the museum. You have anything on your agenda for this weekend?
No, we have the opening coming up tomorrow. We've got some kids art classes that started this week, and they're
there
running
you
through
go.
August,
Talk about that.
So.
All right, so the school's out for summer. School's out forever. And so the kids are going to have art class at the museum.
Yep, they're Tuesdays and Wednesdays from 10 to noon, and it's broken down by age group. 4 to 6-year-olds on Tuesday and 7 to 9-year-olds on Wednesday.
Okay, nice and slow. It's a good time oldie show. Parents out there, if your children are going to do nothing but play Wii all day, get them involved in an art program. Is it still too late to enroll?
Absolutely not. You can come in week to week or participate in the entire program. It's entirely up to you.
Okay, so plug that again nice and slowly so people can get a pen and write it down. Because I know the listeners out there, they've got the kids home. You can only go to the pool so many times. Teach them about some art. It's good. It makes them well-rounded. You've got plenty of sports. I know year-round soccer now. Let them have a little culture in their life as well. You'd be surprised. My son Alex loves to just sit and draw and play. And then my one son, Lance, is hyper like me. He prefers to just scribble, and I guess that's art too, so whatever works.
That's right.
All right, so how do people go ahead and enroll their children in the art program?
They can call the museum at 203-753-0381.
Okay.
Talk to Kathy at extension 10.
Kathy Philippone, the best.
Yeah, we couldn't do it without Kathy.
What a great lady. All right, so we will talk to you in 2 weeks. Have a great afternoon, and nice to hear your voice.
You too. Thanks, Mike.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right, so things are going along. All right, so now some due diligence. I've got to go over this. Due diligence means pay attention. Stop worrying about the latest skinny jeans or, how does my hair look? How's mom or dad's Medicare? A friend of mine, Mark, just came in. His father's in a situation. You need to be paying attention. This woman is so intelligent. She's a nurse at so-and-so said place. So I'm there with a client, and she hears my voice. She's like, hey, I know that voice. And I'm like, you do? So she's like, hey, you have the radio show, right? I said, yes. She's like, I need your help. So she describes her scenario. The mother has no insurance. If there's anyone out there that doesn't have insurance, if you just have Medicare A and B, give me a call. I can put you in contact with the Agency on Aging. You need what they call an SEP, a special enrollment period. If you don't have anything but Medicare, you cannot get in during the year. You're in lock-in right now. So you're going to get a monster penalty. October 15th through December 7th is when you can change your dates. So, ask your parents when you go home. Ask yourself if you're over 65. Do you have everything in place? Do you have a Medicare Advantage? Or do you have a Medicare supplement? One of those are what you need. You can't go with just Social Security. People don't realize that. You're going to get to pay 20% when that happens. So this woman's mother actually broke her leg. So they didn't realize this. You're going to get 20% of that bill. And yes, they can put you on a payment plan, or yes, they could go to Medicaid. But the one thing people don't realize is Medicaid is supported with your tax dollars as well. So I'm going to go over some of that stuff after the commercial break. But we've got Governor Malloy making changes to the Veterans Administration. They should be allowed to go on Medicaid if they have low-income subsidies and keep the VA. That's their right. As a veteran, they fought in the war. We'll go over that in a little while. I got to keep to my topics. All right, so Chris Murphy, he's in Southbury. He gave a discussion, and if anyone is listening, please give me a call. I'd love to know how it went there. 203-757-1320. So Murphy speaks at U.S. Rep. I think he's a senator going for congressman. He wants to take over Lieberman's seat. So I really don't follow politics. That's more for Larry Rifkin's show. But I've got to follow the Medicare and Medicaid and Health and Human Services. That's my industry, is insurance. So he's giving something at the Heritage Village. He gave a speech on Monday. Described that if the Ryan plan. Now, the Ryan plan is Paul Ryan of Wisconsin. He is talking about his Republican side of the health care reform bill. He wants to just completely quash it. Is it constitutional? My answer is no. I'm not for health care reform. I am for a couple things. I am for lower prices, and I am for guaranteed issue. You can't believe how many people are sick out there, and they get denied or they get rated up extremely expensive for their insurance. Do I think insurance should be given to everyone? No. Malloy is saying that we're going to lose $100 million. That's because he's not going to get the funding. They canceled the CONPACE program. They get federal funding for Medicaid. So that's one of the things in health care reform, that it would make it affordable, because they're going to have everyone that can't afford the insurance just go on a form of Medicaid. If you look at the Husky program or the Charter Oak health plan, those are forms of Medicaid. That's why you'll find that a lot of doctors necessarily don't want to take that, because they're only going to get a 60% reimbursement rate versus Anthem, Blue Cross Blue Shield, United Healthcare, Connecticut, Aetna. They're going to pay more in the 80s. So I'll go over that a little bit more. But he is giving a seminar for the seniors. The one thing we don't want is to fail to protect the poor and the ill. Rich or not, I mean, I'm definitely not rich, but I am, my wife and I both work. We are lucky enough to own a home. My children do go to a good school, which they just finished, and they're going to go to Judson next year. So that puts me in, I guess, the middle class, or, yeah, probably the middle class. Do I want to see my father at a clinic only? No. So we have to buy him a Medicare supplement. He gets it. He has zero co-payments to the doctor and the hospital, but he has a $250 a month premium. When that gets to be too expensive, I'm going to put him into an Advantage plan. An Advantage plan is what this bill is trying to take away, essentially end Medicare as we know it.
Under the program, seniors would pay twice as much out of pocket over 10 years and 3 times as much over 20 years. Well, in 20 years, some of my seniors aren't going to be around. We need a fix now. We need to make it more affordable now. The Medicare Advantage plans, Joe Courtney would say, is here to stay. What it does is it'll give you a true zero premium. Now, please remember, listeners, it is not free. You know us by heart. The reason you know that commercial by Connecticut is because they brainwashed you. Anthem. I am lucky to say Anil is going to call in hopefully next week. I spoke to Matt at Waterbury Hospital, but I do want to announce it. Waterbury Hospital in contract negotiations has definitely, the answer is yes, gotten the LPPO with MediBlue and the HMO with MediBlue in the network. So any of you seniors out there that better have purchased from me, but if you didn't, you purchased from somebody else, and you got the Anthem Blue Cross Blue Shield MediBlue plan. The contract negotiations are done. It is in the books, and it is signed. So the CFO was going to give a call in on the show and explain that, yes, they are actually in network. If I don't hear from them, I'll go over it. We're going to take a commercial break, sticking to the 18 minutes for Nick's YouTube videos. If you aren't watching the YouTube videos, you should be. This producer Nick's a genius. You go to www.youtube.com. You put in the words Medicare and You, WATR 1320, or you can simply just put in Medicare and You because it does pop up. But the government's actually getting a little jealous of me, so they keep making little small videos now, too, by CMS that kind of push me out a little bit. But producer Nick is doing a phenomenal job, so I'll cut it at 1:22. We'll be back in a few minutes. Talk to you then.